All right, obviously, kind of the end of a really good weekend. We've talked in here, I feel like every game, about just trying to be a better version of ourselves and play cleaner, play better, be more efficient with what we're doing. And I thought we did that really all weekend. I thought, going back to really Wednesday's game, I think we consistently ran off really good at bats, and it seems like whoever we plug in's running off good at bats. Mason Sweeney had a great day today. Even his outs that were loud, he hit some balls hard. Cam puts a good swing on it, catches the ball really well behind the plate. So just continuing to get production out of the offense, which was huge. Obviously, TJ had a great finish to the game today. Got on time and hammered some balls there. And we had good pitching, man. We held him to 1 run, and Greg kind of did it with 1 pitch today. Really, we were talking after the game. He didn't really have great feel for his secondary stuff, and he kept attacking with the heater, and you saw a lot of foul balls with it, and that's just the way that fastball plays, man. It's a really good heater, and did a great job. They get 1-2 out hit in the first, and that's all he gave them, and got into a mess. Austin Morris gets in a little bit of a mess and doesn't panic, pitches way out. Braylon Myers, kind of a self-inflicted mess with an error to start that thing, but pitches out of it, and we hold him to 1 run, and obviously get a big swing from TJ there at the end. So just a really good weekend of baseball, and I think now we kind of turn our attention to Tuesday in UAB. Good team that's playing pretty good. They're throwing the ball pretty good right now, and it's going to be the first road test for these guys. We played all fall at home. We played all preseason at home. Now this is the start of 4 straight games on the road. So it's going to be really important that we come out and stay to who we are and go play a gritty, tough brand of baseball, which I thought we really played this weekend.
TJ, your inning streak almost went by the boards, but separately from that, did you kind of change your approach at the plate as the game went on when you had the early struggle?
No, not really. I just was able to get on time in the last 2 at-bats, and I started to kind of get ahead of myself when you see a guy's not throwing this hard, and sometimes you get in between being late or being too early, so you end up being either or in the box instead of just seeing it and hitting it. And in the last at-bat, I was able to I just told myself a little early and see a ball in strike zone, and I was able to get one to hit.
Yeah, Coach, how important is it early to give pitchers chances in high leverage situations without maybe pulling them, like what you did with Austin Morris today, giving him more at-bats against guys with bases loaded?
Yeah, I think it's important. We've had some things bounce our way a lot early. I feel like we got a lot of 2-out hits. We've executed at a high level. We've done some of that. Yesterday was the first day we had to play from behind, and it wasn't very long, but it still matters. Like playing from behind offensively. Same thing today. They scored 1 in the first. It's good for us, and same thing for the arms. They've had so much success that sometimes you forget, it's a little different when there's traffic on the bases, and that's good for them to get in that situation and have to kind of pitch through it and compete their way through it. And I thought Austin did a great job. I mean, that thing could have blown up and got messy. He didn't have great feel early, and then goes out and executed pitches and got out of that with a 0. We talk in that spot about really minimizing, but should you hang a 0, it's even better. So I think it's good for them. Like, obviously we want them to come and attack the strike zone a little better, but at the same time, not panicking, just executing and trusting himself, because Austin Morris is going to be coming into some games in a bases loaded, no out situation. And anytime you can kind of lean back on that past experience, it just helps you have that confidence coming into the next one.
Greg, you started your first weekend game in Crimson Tide uniform today. How, especially with some different circumstances throughout the week, did you prep before the start?
I kind of just stick to the plan with JJ. I mean, felt really good to get out there on the weekend, help give the guys a chance to win, and kind of just stick to the day-to-day stuff that JJ plans out for us and Coach Price and everything, so felt good.
How much that midweek start help you?
I think it helped a little bit, yeah, just get back on the mound, get as much time on the mound as I can just throughout the season. It's a long year, but it definitely felt good.
Yeah, Coach, you haven't had a pitcher go 5 innings yet. With these next big games, going to Frisco next week and ramping up into SEC play, how will you be able to ramp that up?
Yeah, I think it kind of intentional. Obviously, Greg threw 30 pitches on Tuesday, so we weren't going to come out. We had said that 50, 60 pitch mark is about all we wanted today. Now he'll get a full normal week of rest. Like, he's got 7 days before he'll get up there and do it again, which is good. Now we can start lengthening it out and building that out. And I think that's what you want early. I mean, ideally, that's what you do. The opening weekend, they're throwing 40 to 50. Then you're hoping that 50 to 60, and then you just keep kind of building on that. So a lot of that is kind of how taxing the innings are too. Like, 60 pitches when there's no traffic is a lot easier on the body than 60 when you're having to pitch out of stuff and do that. So hopefully we can keep inching those pitch counts up. But that's the whole plan. I've said this all along. I want this group playing their best baseball in May and June, not in February. And so you want to build your pitcher so they're still strong. We're not limping into May and June. You want to be firing at all cylinders. So I think we've been able to build them up a little bit, and now as we kind of get into a good midweek here and then a really good test. I mean, we're going to basically play an SEC weekend on the road this weekend with Indiana, Arizona, and Dallas Baptist. I mean, those are SEC caliber teams. So it'll be good for us to let those guys run a little bit and see how efficient we can be and let them start get a little bit deeper into those games.
Coach, what do you want your team to take away from this series as you go on the road for the first time this series?
Yeah, I think just the way we played the game was just at a really high level. We had an error obviously today on a play we misplayed, but man, the at-bats, like that, my big challenge to our offense was just relentless, consistent at-bats until the game's over. If it's 21 outs, if it's 27 outs, whatever it is, that you make it miserable for that opposing pitching staff to try to get through that lineup. And I think we've done that. I think the last 3 games we really did a good job of doing that. Now the biggest piece of this game is consistency, right? That's the biggest challenge of this game is consistency. We're not always going to get the 2-out hit. We're not always going to answer when we give up a run in the first. It's not always going to happen when we do kind of get slugged a little bit, and when we are having to chase in the 5th or 6th inning. Can we be that professional? Can we be that consistent? So that's what I want to see, and I think it's going to be the first test for these guys on the road. I'm used to being at Maryland and playing 4 of our first 5 weeks on the road, so it's been a little bit different being at home. But I think we'll learn a lot about this group and how we operate kind of in a hostile environment over the next week and a half, and it's going to be good for us one way or the other.
TJ, obviously Valpo did have some struggles in the field throughout the weekend. How important was that for you guys as an offense to not just do your thing, but also take advantage of the help when they gave it to you?
I think it speaks a lot about our offense. Everyone's not going to get a hit every time they're at the bat, but when you capitalize on stuff like that, it really hurts the other team. And the coaches emphasize making sure we make that hurt. So it's huge when they make an error or if they make a mistake in the field that we, get the big hit afterwards to capitalize on that.
TJ, how did it feel starting off the game not great, but ending with a home run in the 6th and then the two-run shot to end the game?
It felt good. I'd actually just talked to I don't know if anybody's gonna believe this, but we were in the outfield when I think it was a pitching change or whatever they were doing, and I told Evan and Ian, I was like, I remember one time at Ole Miss I struck out 3 times and then hit 2 home runs in the game, and they were like, well, I mean, you might as well do it now. So I mean, after the first one, I really wasn't expecting it. It kind of just went out the window, but it was just funny that I talked about it with them. But, yeah, it felt good.